Hey there, Paul with Blackwater Honey Forge. Hope you're all doing well. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about prepping for the push and what that means in terms of me becoming a sideliner beekeeper this year and what the push involves. This is Blackwater Honey Forge, named in part after the banks of the Blackwater River we live near in central New Hampshire and after the master craftsmanship of honeybees. This is a place for learning, discussion, and to practice the art of beekeeping. Welcome to the journey. Be well and forge on. So, as you can see behind me, it's still the dead of winter here in New Hampshire. It's mid-January. It's about a beautiful 25 degrees out right now. And talking about the push, when it comes to beekeeping, and the spring rush is really what I mean, is a ways off. For us, really, we hope that March means that the bees get to start rearing some brood and things like that. Sometimes I'm pretty jealous of the southern beekeepers where right now in February, they're probably already waiting for their bees to start brooding up and they're going to be thinking about split shortly thereafter. But I don't have that problem per se. I don't really have to do anything with my bees other than maybe check supplemental feed stores on nice warm days out here, which I did recently, and everybody's doing well. So today, like normal, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna talk. So when I'm talking about prepping for the push, it's talking about getting all that stuff done that you can get done before the push comes. Because when the bees get going, we're kind of already behind as beekeepers. That's one of the things that's a challenge, right? We always don't have enough time. So, for instance, right now, I'm making up some hive stands that I'm going to be putting in for the apiary expansion this year. And I don't want to have to do that when the bees are already getting going. When it's time for me to start feeding pollen patties, equalizing hives, waiting for drones, splitting and rearing queens, I want to have my hive stands and my nuke boxes and my mating boxes and things like that in place and good to go. So that's what I'm talking about when we're saying prep for the push. Because you don't want to fall behind. Now, in addition to that, there's a lot of other things that you can be doing as well. Specifically, actually, not you. There's a lot of other things that I can be doing as well when we're talking about this stuff. It's not just the creation of things like this, where really what I also need to be doing, since I did a relaunch this year, I need to continue my label redesigns, which I'm almost there. I just need to get the barcodes all set, which the barcodes, big expenditure. I think in a previous video, I mentioned it as GSC1. Let me correct myself. It's just GS1. To get official barcodes in, I'm looking at $750 because I need enough barcodes in order to take care of all the variations of all the products that I'm going to have. So whereas I'm doing more than just honey, but I'm doing 3 different sizes of honey, I'm doing 4 different kinds of lip balm, I'm doing my beard balm, and I'm doing 2 or 3 different scents of lotion bars. So each one of those individual items needs its own barcode. So that's something that I need to consider as well. Now, in addition to things like my labels and the barcodes, I've also been working on a website design as well. And though I may not be worrying about shipping products soon, I do want to have that website to have a QR code, so that way when folks are buying the honey, they can scan that QR code and then they can go to the website and learn about the product that they're buying, learn about what it is that I'm doing here, learn about the beekeeper that they're buying their local honey from. And I think that's something pretty important. You know, we talk about all the time of knowing the beekeeper. Hopefully my voice isn't too bad. I have been dealing with and getting over a sickness, the likes of which I've not had in years. And I was bedridden for three and a half days, went on antibiotics and everything else, and then it's taken me over 2 weeks to really work on my lung capacity. So not really a woe is me moment, but yeah, if my voice sounds off or I get a little exasperated, that's why. So a couple other things I need to get ready and do before bee season starts, before springtime hits. I'm going to be redoing my feed supply system. I already have a new pump on order. Last year I was making use of a diesel transfer pump, which worked fine, but there's no pressure switch on the diesel transfer pump. So once I hooked it up to the 12-volt battery, it was constantly running, which was kind of a pain, and it draws the battery down a lot. Plus the thing's really noisy anyway, and you don't want to just have the pump constantly working against nothing. So I got a different water transfer pump. That's a lot of ums. So I got a different water transfer pump that's still going to have a high gallons per minute. I thought Mama was home. That's still going to have a pretty good gallons per minute, still has a good pressure rating, but it has a pressure switch. So that way when I'm done pumping, the pump is going to turn off, it won't draw from the battery, won't over-exercise the pump. So I'll be making a video about that. I also need to get a video put together for my winter sugar bricks and for my homebrew Honeybee Healthy as well. I'm trying not to drill too much because it's really noisy in the microphone. I saw it coming. So I had mentioned in another video that I'm going to be approaching this year as cheaply as possible. I think what I really meant to say instead was as cheaply as reasonable. But in the case of this stuff, these 12-foot long 2x6s, pressure treated, and I'm going to have them on a block on top of that as well, so there's still going to be no ground contact. But the wood itself, totally free. I had a family member that was using this as a deck for the base of a small pool, and they decided to hardscape it instead, and they were going to bring all this wood to the dump. That didn't sit well with me because I knew that I would make use of 2x6 pressure treated lumber at some point, and lo and behold, this is that point. So yeah, always make use of everything that you can repurpose. Beekeeping is expensive enough anyway. And so if you can get your hands on this stuff, honestly, for things like this, too, keep an eye out for construction dumpsters. If people are building in developments or building a new house, go and have a conversation with the framers, the contractors. They're probably not going to care if you go and take scrap wood out of their dumpster. So just, again, having a conversation, never hurtful, can save you a whole boatload of money. By the way, for this really simple design, these are just 9-inch blocks in the middle, and I just do 3 of them. The reason why I did 9 inches here, because then you add 3 inches for the outside pieces, and you have 12 inches there, which is also the same width of a cinder block. So a cinder block at the end and in the middle and at the other end, you're going to have really good support, and it's the same width, so you only have to use 1 cinder block on each one. So 3 cinder blocks, and this is going to hold 4 hives. So it works out well for me. I made a mistake last year where running the double deeps to make them a little bit more accessible to me, I used 2 cinder blocks and then these, and it was good for work in the deeps. But then when I was running my honey supers, some of my hives had 3 supers on them. So I was up here with my honey supers, and it was just no good. I ended up having to stand on these, or, I didn't have a ladder out there at the time. And I just don't want to have to do that. So having a lower base is what I'm going to shoot for this year. So what about you guys? What does prepping for the push mean to you? What are all the things that you try to take care of before the season gets started? I'd be curious to know on that. Comment below. Now, another thing, beekeeping related, that I need to prep for as well is I'm actually making a cinder block burn pit for my maple syrup boiling tank, because also on my property I tap about 15 or so trees, and I don't sell the maple syrup, but last year I did it for the first time ever. I got 3 gallons out of it, and that was just really good to be able to give to family members and everything. Actually, I used them for wedding favors at our wedding. Came out phenomenal, but I needed a more efficient way because I was doing it over my my little like campfire pit. So doing that. And so on top of everything that I'm taking care of for the bee business, I'm also taking care of the other stuff on the property. And of course, you know, taking care of all the snow that we've been getting as well. So kind of one of those people that always has to be doing something, much to the chagrin of my wife. But you know what? She must love me because she married me, and I'm a pretty lucky man with that. So a few more things that I need to do as far as prepping for the push is I do need to order my woodenware. I did put together a good amount of frames, but I'm going to have to order some more frames as well. Get some more frame feeders ordered up. I'm going to go with some pro nukes as far as my, that's where I'm going to be making my nukes and using those as my mating nukes as well. And something I'd really like to look into this year is a heated bottling tank, because I got mine kind of jerry-rigged right now with a heating mat wrapped around it, and it works okay. But having an actual heated bottling tank, and on top of that, getting some type of speed fill for the bottling, I think that would be money. But literally, it is also money. So it's one of those things, cheaply as possible or as cheaply as reasonable. Because when you have the correct products in place, or the correct equipment in place, you're saving money as well. You have to spend it first, but you're saving money in time and efficiency. But if you've been with me for this long, thanks for joining me. This is kind of one of those things where I'm just doing some winter prep work. Hopefully you're getting your prep all set and done as well. And until next time, be well. For John.